It's a continuation. It's Lindsay of what I was talking about. I got cut off, but so here's like first he sends me a message about because he was always joking and harassing me and making fun of me in every kind of way possible, and so he started saying something about wanting to turn that property into a beekeeping colony or something, and he sent a link to some beekeeping school, and he's like telling me I should take classes for that, and I was like, what the fuck are you fucking talking about? Already he's such a narcissistic jackass because he thinks everything is funny. Okay, these people are soulless, heartless, narcissistic people that try to turn everything into a joke, including the fact that Alan died, and they were already like my mother, who's a bitch. You know, all they were doing already was saying that he was a hoarder, he was a loser, he was a recluse, and he lived the way he lived. He was, living off grid, or which he didn't. But they just all they did was dragged him down. Clearly, my mother hates him, and clearly Carter hates him too, but they want his money. Okay, they fucking my mother especially hates him, and well, I wonder why that is. Just like she hates Ben Baldwin and she hated Peaches, my grandmother on my dad's side. She hates these people, can't stand them. She liked Pops, but she can't stand Peaches. She hated Ben Baldwin, who was Alan's. My alleged father was Ben Baldwin, Ben A. Baldwin Jr., who died in 2004. He's my supposed biological father, which I question, and Alan was his brother who died this past 2023. So whatever the fuck it is, Kenny hates both of them. Well, duh, because I was born from adultery. Okay, so I was born in 1975 with a fraudulent fucking birth certificate, and every time I've asked Kenny about who my father is or what's going on with that, she throws a shit fit and gets really angry because she's hiding something. And whenever somebody's born from adultery, or a bastard child, but adultery in my case, the mother hates you, you get resented by society, you get horribly scorned by people who you don't even fucking know because people are so goddamn mean. And I've gone through that my entire life with total strangers harassing me and telling me I need to find Jesus and that I'm going to go to hell and all this kind of shit. And that stems from being born from adultery. And you know what? That's not my fault. That's the fault of your own fucking mother. For those of you who have that kind of situation, you're either born from adultery, because guess whose fault it is? It's your fucking parents, your moms. If you're born from a bastard child, same thing. It's your fucking mother's fault. Sorry to be so mean, but it's your mom's fault. And you don't ever have to blame yourself for the mistakes that your parents made. Don't blame yourself for that kind of shit because it's not worth it. Because it's their fault. They should have known better. And don't ever blame yourself like my mother's tried to do throughout my entire life, telling me things like I should never have been born, that I'm a failure, I'm stupid, I'm ugly, that I'll never succeed. All the things that narcissistic people do to scapegoat the kid they hate, which was me, because of her adulterous affair. Anyway, so this whole thing is still going on in the courts in Kerrville, Texas. The case is P23-107, in case anybody is interested in seeing how fucked up it is and how they manipulate and bribe and get away with all kinds of bullshit in these court probate cases. So anyway, that's about the beekeeping school. And then he says, what if we put bee colonies on Alan's land to make money? Could be a great little business and a gratifying midlife career. Haha, so funny. You see, he thinks it's so funny, right? It's like, where the fuck did he come up with something like that? And by the way, they know that I go to the gym. These people, my mother and this asshole brother, know that I had been going to Gold's Gym for a long time, and they hated that. Everything they wanted, everything about me, they try to ruin and exploit financially. Everything I've ever tried to do. And I can't help but wonder if that has something to, that's all tied in together. The fact that I've been so mocked by the fucking media and it's harassed and mobbed and exploited for so long because I go to the gym and shit like that. It's like, what the fuck? But that's a lot of it as well. And I said, ha. I just said, ha, because I was like, that's not, I didn't even know how to respond to that stupid shit. So then on Thursday, March 16th, 2023, he says, hi, Lindsay, is the key to Canton back in the box? A handyman is coming tomorrow. He needs to get in. Mom said you cleaned it. Thank you. Okay. Oh, back then I was working for this fucked up, stupid front company fucked up place called Homeglow, and I was cleaning houses. And so, of course, there's a property at 646 Canton that Kenny owns, or Carter bought it. Of course, it's Carter's property because little Carter gets anything he wants, and so she gave it to him or whatever. And when I was living there, the whole fucking time I was living there, the place was infested with black mold. It was a disaster. Okay. And she would never allow me to get anything redone. She would not pay to have anything fixed. And I begged her to let me move out of there. The place was haunted. It was filthy. Rat infested, everything. And it was a horrible experience. And it was also cursed. And there was a lot of paranormal activity there. And I begged and cried, and she would not let me. She's like, too bad. I don't care. I can't afford you to. And so finally, after living in that fucking house at 646 Canton, 78202 in San Antonio, I was able to move into the Denver house, 1135 Denver, a few miles away, further south, in another house that she owns that my cousin Chip Sam Geezy had been living here. And then he lived here starting around 2017. And then after he moved out, I finally moved in. He had been having some issues with the neighbors and his kid, whatever, I don't know. But he moved out. I moved in. And then, so I got out of that fucked up house. But as soon as I move out, guess what? Of course, it was on the market for a long time. And then Carter spends all this money. Apparently, Carter's money, he spent like about 40,000, supposedly, from what I've been told, about $40,000 to have the place fixed up, right? Yeah, right. Where does he get all this money, I wonder? Really interesting how claims to never have money, but they're always coming up with all this fucking money, right? And then another thing, a long time ago, a ways back, when he was having all these marital problems with Kim Field, his wife in Los Angeles, who they've been married for a long time, and they're separated, but they still live together. They're supposed to be divorced, but because of in California, of course, he's not going to divorce or whatever because she'll get half of what he owns, right? So he stays married to her even though he hates her, and vice versa. And they have a fucked up life. And so he's mad about that. He projects that shit onto me, or he had been. One time he asked me for my social security number because he wanted to open up a bank account. He said, please help me and don't tell anybody. And I was stupid enough to give him my social security number, and he opened up some fucking bank account in my name because I was trying to help him. He's a manipulative asshole, and he's a cheater. I think the reason they're so fucked up is because they both cheat. I don't even know, and I don't fucking care. I don't even want to know. I don't live in fucking Los Angeles, thank God, but he's been there for a long time, and he seems to think that he owns me, that he owns everything here, that he can just come around and fuck everything up for my life because he's unhappy in his own fucked up life. That's how both of them are pathetic, like that, projecting all their shit onto me for a long time. Because I just live my own life and I'm independent. They can't fucking stand not being in control of me financially. And she also tried to put a fucking guardianship on me. Both of them, Carter and Kenny, tried to put a goddamn guardianship on me in 2016 when I was living at that Canton house, and I got the fucking thing dismissed in the goddamn Bexar County court. So, and they tried to put me in a mental hospital, or all this shit to try to financially control me because I'm sure they already knew there's money coming my way eventually when Alan, whatever, they already knew something that I clearly didn't know about because that's how these greedy fucking people are. They act like greedy fucking Jews because my mother's involved with all these fucking asshole Jewish shit fucks like Bob fucking Sussman. He needs to get in. Key, and I said, Key, and he says, I said, yes. Key is in back in case boxer. When I said, and he said something, you okay? Tomorrow we will enjoy a fine dinner. Oh, because I was supposed to go to Kerrville the next day to go meet with him to clean out Alan's estate. We'd agreed that I'd go there, okay? Because he's like, well, I'm going to be in town and we need to go clean out Alan's house. And mind you, this was before he had any kind of permission by the judge, before there was a court hearing, anything like that. He already had an attorney, by the way, for whatever reason, but he wanted me to go there to help clean out Alan's estate. And this was only about 2 weeks after Alan passed away. So this was in March 2023. And so I kept thinking, there's something weird about this. I don't that's not right. And I started researching probate law a whole lot in Texas and estate law. And that's completely against the law to go to somebody, especially, he didn't have permission to do that. And I knew that was wrong. So I refused to go. I was like, that's not right. You can't do that. There has to be a hearing. You have to have permission. That's not how the law